Welcome to a new video where I'm gonna do a technical analysis on Litecoin. There recently has been some hype involved about Litecoin because it has been pumping on the local time frame. Also on Litecoin, like any other crypto coin charts that I am uploading, let's go through the possible upside and downside scenarios on it. We want to sketch an unperspective bias so we can trade based on these scenarios that I've been sketching in, or at least I will trade based on these scenarios I've sketched in. So let's start by going over our technicals. First up, this is an important level to look at. This is what brought us all the way towards new lows. So on the macro time frame, if you do not gain this part, you're only gonna expect lower and new lows. Well, the market has tried it here, tried it here, tried it here, but look at how nicely we keep on holding our support and demand is slowly taking over in this chart. So if we do zoom in on a bit of a more local picture here, then what we can see is we had a huge range here, trapping a lot of people in buying and selling Litecoin. What did we do? We had a manipulation down here, and now we are seeing the expansion of this range manipulation expansion, this power of 3 that we have formed. This brought us to new lows, a nice change of character, and we kept that trend going up. This is really nicely done. So let's now zoom in at this local picture to see if we can expect upside or more resistance towards the downside. But before I do that, there's one thing I want to point out, and that is in this previous range, we have never taken that extreme high. Also, this is open and this is open. 3 lower highs straight to each other. You could call them equals as well. This is a magnet for the market. Market makers were not determined enough to take all of that liquidity out, fill their short orders, and push price down. No, this is left open for later. Let's zoom in. This is our higher low that brought us all the way up to new highs. So if we manage to hold that level, we can only expect upside. We can still expect that higher low for a new higher high. Well, this is not going to be a break of structure to me. This is just a wick, and after we've just closed the candle below it, but straight away opened one back above. That is not a valid break of structure or a high time frame change of character, how we like to call it, meaning we can still expect that higher low for new higher highs. I must say we have pumped really hard up here, and this could indicate that we could also keep our strength a lot higher. Like, for example, this is our last supply block before we've made new lows. This tried to push us up, but sellers said no, and we made new lows. This is also what we gained straight away, so it makes sense that we could find some support here. This is also called a breaker, and it makes sense that we're getting rejection from here because this supply brought us previously towards new lows, so this is going to be a struggle point. If we do manage to gain this supply, then I am expecting price to trade towards that liquidity there. That's nowhere near the case. So a point of interest to possibly look for longs is going to be this breaker here. Let's see on the local time frame if there's any local price action. There's a little 30-minute price action. You could use this as potential support on Litecoin. But from a higher time frame perspective, our last pullback is all the way down here. This is also nice in combination with our old low. This is our last high time frame pullback before we took out the high. It's not a break of structure yet. It's just a wick. So we need to wait for that to develop, or else we could actually see that pullback coming here if we don't get strength from this breaker. So we already have 2 long point of interest sketched out for us. And this is also what I'm gonna be looking at to keep on trading Litecoin towards that liquidity that we want to take out. If we do fill, there's one more zone below here, and maybe we can touch it with a wick without breaking structure again, and then seeing that quick reaction up. But if we are going to break this with confidence, then we could expect way lower price actions on Litecoin, and we are going to be looking at this point of interest again. Looking at this locally, we do have a range drawn in. We already have a first deviation indicating that market makers could be ready to sell the market on Litecoin, which makes sense after a big expansion like we've just had, right? I mean, the market cannot go up forever. It needs that correction towards the downside. So what we can do here is we can touch extreme supply and get a reaction down, or we could go above the high one more time, or this even have the opportunity to change into a accumulation. But we'll have to see what price action develops. We have the scenarios drawn in though. Yeah, Litecoin is not going to make it any more difficult than it is at the moment. So this is also going to be the technical analysis on Litecoin. Let's see if Litecoin can ever reach all-time highs again. This is a make it or break it point for Litecoin. This should be enough to keep expanding up. But if it's not, we are going to see lower and maybe that all-time high will never come. Let's wait and find out. I will keep you guys updated about this chart in our free Discord that is linked down in the description. We are posting daily trading scenarios, opportunities that we are looking at as traders. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the Discord. Peace.